Okay, first question. What has the current leadership failed to do and be specific?
The current leadership has failed to protect the community from the plan the community had and how the community should grow. They have ignored every ordinance that was set in place to protect the community from sprawl. And so we have an abundance of housing, they call it affordable housing, and the price for those houses are not affordable. And it's hurting the community with traffic and the infrastructure we do not have. Will have to end up paying for it. The developers build and they leave. They leave a mess. We have to take care of it. And that's one of the concern that the current leadership did not do was to protect the community.
So what plan are you referring to? You call it the master plan on Sunday at a meeting you were at. It's the master plan is now called the comprehensive plan. So what are they failing to do for the community through the comprehensive plan?
Well, there was a plan called the Neighborhood Master Plan
They call
that
it the
overrides,
comprehensive plan now.
and that's what the current leadership changed. That's hurt the area. The developers didn't like the Neighborhood Master Plan because
Oh,
the master plan was defined within a 1 mile radius of Lower Richland Boulevard and Garner Road, where the developers could build. All the Everyone, the developers, business people, everyone got together with the community to decide where to build what and the type of houses and the quality houses. They didn't like that plan because they were restricted to build in that area first. And when it comes to 85%, then you go outside of that area. And that's how you prevent sprawl. And that's how you control development. Because, for example, you can't just dump all affordable housing in one district. Because when business look at the per capita income and it's not to their level, they're not coming. You have to have different classes of houses from low end to the higher end of houses, a mixture, so you'll have attraction to the business the area desires to have. And that's why you had the neighborhood master plan. They
okay.
ignored it and got rid of it.
Okay. So how will you balance economic development with community needs?
Well, the first thing I did for the past 9 months, I had several community meetings in the area to get the needs of the citizens, not their wants, the needs. And I've got over maybe 160 ideas or from the community on the different needs. I had meetings in Hopkins, Gaston, Eastover, Crossroads, the sheriff's substation, and the library for the entire Lower Richland community. The Lower Richland community is split in District 10 and District 11. So you have two council members in the area. And we have to work together to have that balance because what happened in District 10 affects District 11, vice versa. So that's what I've been doing. And to address their needs, my first thing is to introduce or reintroduce the neighborhood master plan. That's the
Okay.
only way we can protect can stop sprawl.
Awesome. So what's your stance on education funding in South Carolina?
Education funding. We have a school board and they were elected by the people of the area to represent them in education. What I would do is, because they're the experts, they're elected to do that. I would meet with them to get their view and their needs and support their budget in whatever they need to do. Just like what people say they're talking about crime and they're going to protect crime and do crime. The sheriff is elected for that. So I would meet with him and find out his needs, what he's going to do to protect the area and support his budget. But
Okay.
I can't just tell people I'm going to do education and I'm going to do crime. I'm not the sheriff and I'm not on the school board.
I
But I work with,
respect that.
yes, ma'am.
How will you address infrastructure or housing concerns locally? So you were saying that your neighborhood plan. So what else could we do to help with the infrastructure for that?
Well, like initially, the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development was supposed to pay for with a grant to build the sewer line and the water lines. The developers didn't want to pay it, so it was dragged out until most of the grants went away. We end up paying it. We have the penny tax.
Hmm.
The penny tax, right, was created for the bus system in the city of Columbia when they took it from SCE&G. And when that money ran out, they had to find a way to fund the bus. Lower Richland decided we're not getting involved, so they decided to pave our dirt roads. And that never happened. So, of the over $1 billion they received for infrastructure and the plans they had for the Lower Richland community, only thing we got was the sidewalk from Lower Richland High School to the Adult Activity Center, which I created and I designed. That's the only thing we got from the penny tax. None of the dirt roads has been paved, right? That money is done. We have the zoo have a walkway and everything, right, from the penny tax now. And now we're here, the city of Columbia is building a sidewalk from downtown Columbia all the way to the stadium. And what happened to Lower Richland? And then people went again and pushed for a second penny tax. I mean, when you ask what are the conditions or what is the benefit to Lower Richland, they have no plan. So I would have to get involved. And I can remind let everyone know who doesn't understand. I'm a retired highway engineer and transportation planner. And in the entire state, there's no more than 8 transportation planners in the state.
Oh,
And I'm
wow.
a retired one of them. So when you talk about infrastructure and designing, I'm an expert in that.
That's awesome. So you were saying the penny tax was for the buses, so they redid it. So doesn't that money still go to the buses to help the Comet still run, and they extended their routes to the Lower Richland area?
Yes, but what they did, the bus, I get, I think it's like 33% or 32% of that money,
Okay.
right? So the remainder 60 something percent, right, goes to building these roads. It's a local um, penny tax, right, for local roads. What I did when I was in office was have an intergovernment agreement with the Department of Transportation that any money we spend on state or federal roads, when they receive that funds back from Congress, they reimburse the county.
Hmm.
No one is asking for it. The Department of Transportation have so much money, they gave Charleston a grant for $240 million. And
Wow.
here we are in the capital county, and we don't get a penny, right? Or legislative delegation, they're not asking for it. The local county council members, they're not asking for it. So it's like we're giving away the money.
So
We are
how do
think
you
are the,
encourage them to ask for that money then?
meet with them and explain
Okay.
it to them that it's extra money. When it's budgeted, you have something called the TIF, the Transportation Improvement Program, that goes to Congress. And that money is set aside, right? Every dollar we send to Congress in the gasoline tax, we receive 95 cents back.
Okay.
That money is divided into the counties based on population and mileage of roads. And Richland County is the second largest behind Greenville, and Charleston is now third. We have grown almost 29,900, let's say 30,000 we have grown since 2010,
Okay.
right? Based on the last census. And if you divide 30,000 by 11 council district, you get 22,727 houses per, I mean, people per district. That's grown. And when you talk about needs of houses, it only works out to maybe 700 houses per district. But these guys are saying, no, we're growing so much, we need so much houses, and we're the fastest growing county and the fastest growing state that we need 30,000 houses in Lower Richland. And all of them are planned for affordable housing. So I'm trying to let people understand and people running for office. I even tried to mentor them so they could understand. We are at a stage in our life now where we can't go in to learn how the process works. We have to go in hands on foot on the ground and feet on the ground and keep moving and getting things done.
Understood. I remember the penny tax did help build that road right by the adult activity center on Garners
Yes,
Ferry Road because my
yes.
son was part of that internship with Hussey Gay Bill that year when they were planning that road.
Yeah, I designed that road. That's what I'm saying. From Lorton High School, the sidewalk from Lorton High School all the way to the adult activity center, right? That was the penny tax. And the reason why I designed that road was Garners Ferry Road. the speed limit was 55. I had it reduced to 45 because the senior citizens are getting out on Garnesbury Road, and that was the only way, and it was dangerous. So you had to have an alternative road where they could go back on Rabbit Run and get to a traffic light instead of getting out on Garnesbury Road where people are still going 65, 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, they
And
do
that's
drive kind of fast on Garner's Ferry. I do say that.
and that's why I said earlier. So that's the reason why I designed that road and that sidewalk, a multi-purpose sidewalk for the area.
Okay.
The adult activity center is what I built. When I got on the recreation committee, when I got on the county council, the recreation bond was $35 million. Only thing we had was to redo Coffinwood Park and Hopkins Park and renovate Bluffwood Park. So I raised it to $50 million. I got the votes. And people may follow me to hear what I'm saying is the most important thing on county council is the number 6. You have 6 votes, you get your ordinance passed. And I
Okay.
got the $50 million. And with the $50 million, the council member of District 10 at the time wanted the swimming pool in Eastover. We worked on a center in Gadsden. We do Hopkins Park. We do Coffinwood Park. Crossroads had a building, and I built the adult activity center and supposed to have 4 mini parks for District 11, which none of them has been built yet. And my thing is I've been asking the council person to get the Recreation Commission to build those parks. What happened to the money? And it was stopped. And with a recreation bond, you can't just use the money for anything else. You have to use it for Lower Richland. And to show how embarrassing it is and the discrimination to Lower Richland, a community called Kings Grant received $2.5 million for a walkway. And when they realized that everyone would have access to the walkway, it's a gated community, they gave the money back.
Wow.
They gave the money back because it's a gated community and they did not want anyone in their community. So they gave it back. But how did they get $2.5 million in the first place? So when I said, okay, Lower Richland could use that money for tourists, for ecotourism and some of the parks, and a park I've built, not completed, Panwood Lake Park, they said, no, we already have enough green space in Lower Richland, which is an insult. Yeah, we have green space, but we do not have planned walking trails or parks. So there's a lot to do. But these guys, it's about making as much money as they can and leave. And then we have to pick up paying for the infrastructure and getting everything that we're not going to get a lot of things anyhow based on the demographics, right? And the per capita income if they
Okay.
continue along that route.
You mentioned Eastover getting their pool redone. It took forever for Hopkins Park to get their pool redone. And we were pushing as a community to have it covered so that, it could have more protection for the people during the summertime. But they redid it eventually, reopened it last year, but there was still no cover. And then Pinewood Lake, I take my dogs there to go walking, actually. So why didn't you guys build us any dog parks around here?
No, at Panel Lake Park across the street, an area was designated for a dog park. Panwood Lake, Panwood Lake Park was supposed to be more a relaxing area across the street. One of the mini park was supposed to have a splash pad for the kids for the summer to go, right? And other times during the year, a dog park, an amphitheater,
Wow.
also walking trail, a historic house. And next to it was supposed to be a multi-purpose building, um, 15,000 square foot, right? So we can have different events there, and a scenic park where you could have weddings, family reunion. I used to have at least twice a month bingo, free bingo for the seniors, and the businesses in the area would donate prizes so the seniors could come by from all over Lower Richland and other places, right, to be outside and enjoy and just have a good time. All that was stopped by the current council person. And that's a concern. I just want to get back on county council to complete the things that were stopped. The senior center, I I got them $50,000 a year for the seniors to plan their trips, do it, whatever that they decided to do. That was stopped. There's a program called Jumps, which started before I got in county council. That was for the after school program for the kids to get their homework done, get help in courses. That was taken away. Can somebody who representing you, you work so hard to get to the space, to the spot, and it came in and say, that's a waste of taxpayers' money, stop it. And they're representing you.
Yes,
But
that's deep.
we're sent to represent the needs of the people of the area. That's your job, nothing else, nothing for self. It's for the community. And you have to have the knowledge, the understanding, and the process to negotiate and reach that number 6. And everything I've done in Lower Richland, for Lower Richland, I got that number 6. And I got the ordinance passed.
Okay, that's awesome. So my next question is, what makes you different from the other candidates in this race?
Okay, I've been listening to the other candidates.
Okay.
One was in a high metropolitan area in DC for some years, and they went to Atlanta for some years to come back to work for Lower Richland. DC is a high metropolitan area. Atlanta also. It's totally different from Lower Richland, a rural community.
Yes.
Totally different. And you have to have the needs. And one of my concern is that they created 11 districts, right, for single member district. But the other party decided to do gerrymandering. And so you have people who live in the district, but not in the community, representing the community. If you do not live in Lower Richland, you don't experience the daily traffic, the headache, the unplanned growth and the frustration, and no grocery store, just Dollar General is coming to the area. And you get to nothing but gas stations and title loan and car washes, and that's it, right? And if we continue along this road, we're going to end up like Fairfield Road, North Main, or Monticello Road, where there is nothing, no growth. But the dump houses and they stop doing houses because no one want to live there, because there was no planning.
Okay.
Another person who's running there with the educational system. And to me, just listening to their resume, they should more running for the school board with all the experience with education and what they're doing.
Okay.
Third one is worked at the county for 20 something years and work with the refuse department. And they're saying, well, they work with the county all these years. They know how the county run. The county has over 32 departments. I, as a member of county council, was over, the person was over them. I wrote policies with my colleagues and ordinance to affect how they do their job. So working at the county doesn't make you the knowledge to know you can run a county. For example, at the Department of Transportation, which I worked for 37 years, they created a program for leading transportation employees, a 1-year program where you work with every department. So you have the opportunity to become the director if necessary. You're on the spot because you have an idea of how the entire thing works. But working in one department of 32 doesn't make you an expert.
Okay.
So
But maybe they work with they had to work cross-functionally with other departments. But you made a valid point. You said someone's running for this position, they're not in the district. That shouldn't be. I don't think anybody
no,
who runs for a position.
they're not in the community. They're in the district. You see, you have in gerrymandering, right? You can stretch the line all the way down to another area, right? That's not compatible to your area.
That's
And
true.
if they win, they're representing your area, but they does not live in your area. They live in the district, but they do not live in your community.
Understood.
So,
I got you now.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So what did you learn from your previous time in office?
I learned that the special interest groups will do anything if you get in their way or if you hurt their business.
Okay.
For example, when the penny tax was passed, they had $78 million going to the engineering companies to do a training program. $78 million to the training program to help businesses, small businesses, get contracts with them.
Okay.
I stopped it. I created the office, the OSBO, Office of Small Business Opportunity. What that office did was, you have a small business, you can't get certification, you cannot get bonding. You sign up with the OSBO office, they help you get certification, they help you get bonding to qualify for a contract with those guys. And they had to give 20% of the contract to the small businesses. So that's another thing I did for Richland County and for the community, right? Is to create
Okay.
something so the community can have access to jobs and these contracts.
That's awesome.
So there's a lot I've done. For even to broadcast now where you can stay at home and watch your council members represent you on the television. I had to fight, but I got that done also.
That's awesome. So why do you believe voters should return you to the seat?
Well, voters should return me to the seat because I have a record of working and getting things done for Lower Richland. And the minute I left, everything was taken away.
Okay.
All the programs, everything that is in place, that has been approved by ordinance. So it's still valid. There's never an ordinance to get rid of it. Every ordinance, you have 3 readings and a public hearing. Nothing has been done. It was just stopped.
Okay.
All right. So if they put me back on county council, I'll work to continue the programs there. And legally, all this council person had to do is ask, say, continue the program. It's been approved by an ordinance and you have no right stopping it, right? And move forward with it. It's easy. So that hasn't been done, right? And then recreate or continue it or update the neighborhood master plan.
Okay.
That will tell developers, you can't build a subdivision outside this area until we meet and the community agrees. And then we tell you the type of housing you can build and the type of shopping centers or whatever you can build in the area. You can't just come and use farmland and dump all these houses, which within a year or two, it start to crack because farmland is designed different from the solid ground you should build houses on. And a lot of these people who buy these new houses, they're so close together, one catches fire,
They
all of
all
them catches
catch
fire.
fire. That's true.
That happened in Trotter Road. One house caught fire and all 5 beside it caught fire. Right? So these guys come, fill their pocket, and leave, and we have to take care of the mess.
Understood.
So if I go back on county council, those things will be addressed again. And I think we'll have progress in Lower Richland again, because not only District 11 I've been working with, but the Lower Richland community to help move things forward.
So you've been
We will
working with
grow.
Councilwoman English.
Yes, we
Okay,
will grow.
awesome.
We have to grow. We will grow, but it's how we grow and who's in control. Is it us or the special interest groups who come and tell us what they're going to do? And that was one of the main reasons I ran for county council. I was on the planning commission, and a developer told me that they decide how your community look because they decide what type of houses to build in your community, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's
And I
nice.
said, okay, watch me. And I went for county council, and it's like, remember me? It's not going to happen. From then, there was the hate. I was hurt in their pockets. And they campaigned against me several times, and they continue to do it. But I'm still here. In politics, you have to have a thick skin because they'll do everything to destroy you. But I'm still here, and I'm still running, and I'm doing my best for the Lower Richland community.
Awesome. I got 3 rapid fire questions. Real quick.
Yes.
What's the biggest overlooked issue in Richland County?
Biggest overlooked issue
Mhm.
is the respect for the needs of the community. I mean, they
Okay.
changed it from rural community to something else. I'm not even sure what they're calling it now.
Okay.
Right? But we wanted to keep our rural character. We shouldn't look like Tunach Road and all these areas. We want it to be special.
Yes.
So that's one of it.
One policy you would oppose immediately.
What policy? The distribution of the funding for the penny tax. It should be 11 districts. The money should be divided in 11 equal districts.
Okay.
Because each district contribute of approximately 37,000 residents, and it should be distributed evenly.
Okay. Last question. Define leadership in 1 sentence.
One sentence.
1 sentence.
Deliver.
Okay. Expand on deliver. One sentence, not one word.
Or one sentence. Oh,
One
you said
sentence.
one word. Oh, I thought you said one word.
No, it's one sentence.
And what's the question again? Repeat the
Define
question.
leadership in one sentence.
Delivering the needs of your constituents.
Awesome. Well, that's all my questions, Mr. Jackson. I wish you well in your campaign,
Well,
and
thank you
we'll
very
see
much
how it goes.
for.
Oh, and don't forget May 11th at St. John Holistic Wellness Center from 5:30 to 8. We're gonna have a forum. So I expect to see you there. I'll get you more information.
Yes, thank you. And the forum, I think you may have like 12 people there. So it's gonna be. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but
It's going to
um,
work out because we're going to have moderators, and I'm not letting the questions are going to be already pre-formed, so the people don't get to stand up and give specific questions to certain people. We're going to
okay.
have it more organized.
And if you have the opportunity, right, for county council, please have one in the District 11 for the county council people, because when you have it in District 10, people travel from District 11 to District 10. It doesn't usually work. You don't get the volume of people you need. So if you get an opportunity, have one in District 11.
If I can get an opportunity before June 9th, I certainly will. I'll work on that today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Jackson. You have a great day now.
You do the same. Thanks again.
Bye-bye.